Good morning and welcome, a warm welcome to Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. It's 8 o'clock Saturday, August, September 13th, year 2025. And just this morning, I heard that there's an earthquake in Russia similar to where the earthquake that was in July. Don't know if there'll be tsunamis, but I really pray and hope everybody's okay, no one's hurt. Anyway, I want to go over some ground rules. And one of the things that really troubled me last night, for the first time in my over 2,000 shows, I've been doing this now for 23 months, twice a day. What happens is that a lot of people, I don't know what you want to call them, maybe they're called rebel rousers. Uh, the sadness life of Charlie Kirk is a good example. It seems to me people have hate. Now, maybe they think Charlie instituted it. I don't know. But I had a lot of people with hate in my show last night. And it was really sad to have a lot of people with hate because my show is not about, the people that would hate me in the show maybe be the social workers or the child protection system. I don't know. Maybe they would have hate. I don't know. But it seems like we're really at a crossroads in life with people having hate. And I'm talking about a life skill here. That's something we should learn. We don't have life skills anymore, and we should have in school. Every day you're in school, you should have some form of a life skill, whether it's done 5 days a week for an hour or done 3 days a week for an hour, whatever. But your school should have them, and it should have them early on. Excuse me. Uh, always seem to have sinus problems, and it's really tough when you have a sinus problem. We should love one another. This show, this live stream, is about love. And I have really a lot of love in my heart for everybody. Yesterday was a hard thing for me to go through because I had four people, I think it was the same person three times or something, that thought it was really funny to talk crude and nasty on the show. I don't need to hear outlandish things that aren't taking place. I'm here to help, not hurt, but to help. To help you deal with a matter that is very tragic. You guys are going through so much with CPS. You don't need to be silly or stupid there. Now, this thing with Charlie Kirk was a hard thing for people to swallow because it was live. He edged people on. Um, that's something I don't try to do. I've had some really weird things happen to me in my life. One thing I always remember is that I was organizing the first professional surfing contest at a place called Trestles in San Clemente, California. It was all professional event. It had a lot of the old professional surfers from the 60s that we had in the 70s. It was in 1970, 76. And during the event, one of the locals there, I remember the guy, he had kind of a beard and he was obnoxious, very obnoxious. There's those kind of individuals that are obnoxious. And he spit at me. He was upset because I had organized a surfing event at his home local break, and he decided to spit at me. And the crowd was watching the reaction that I would do. And I knew I was a contest organizer. I knew I was representing the first event there in Trestles. It's a military base, by the way. It's Camp Pendleton. And I did not want the military to look bad. I didn't want the people to issue me the permit. So I didn't do anything. I just wiped off the spit with the seawater, walked back to doing my job, turned my back on them, ignored them. And that probably threw them away. But it seems like we have a lot of hate out there. And it's wrong. It's wrong to do that kind of thing. I noticed it yesterday driving or the day before. I can't remember. It was probably the day of Charlie Kirk's thing. I was driving on the road. Now I have an older car. It's about 25 years old. And it's a van. And the paint, I'm afraid, has gone bad on it. It needs to be washed. It's hard for me to wash a car at my age. And I don't have the funds right now to pay for a car wash. But the guy did not want to get behind me. He wanted to go around me. And the lane was narrowing down to one lane. And I was pulling behind a bus. So I didn't mind being behind a bus, but he didn't like the idea of me behind a Dodge van. He had a white car that was kind of fancy or whatever. And this white car, well, he pulled up. He's behind me, and he wouldn't be behind me. He wanted to insist me that I would stay over to the left and run into the construction barricades. But I didn't want to do that. So he went behind me, and it was a long little trip. And then as soon as I got over to two lanes again, he immediately passed me in frustration, I guess. But that was another incident. I think yesterday was not the 13th. Yesterday was the 12th. I was thinking it was the 13th to be an omen that that's a bad day. Because this high school football team in Folly now, for 11th season, lost a game. Now they've lost in those 11 years, they've lost 3 games, all the same school. And they were at a critical time. But this loss was very tragic because they deserved to lose. They made 7 mistakes. They had over 100 yards in penalties. They could have won it. They actually came back from behind and didn't get ahead of them. They could have won it. But they lost it by a touchdown. And he lost it on a conservational play, meaning that the guy was going up, he caught the ball, he had the ball, but the guy that was trying to tackle him took the ball from him. Referees at first called it a catch, but then changed their mind and awarded it to the other team. And the other team had a minute and a half left of the game, so they put their knee down and they won the game. Technically, they won the game. But it is really hard. And I'm so glad to see Aaron. Welcome, Aaron. We were talking about what's been happening lately with people and their emotions and anger. And I don't like this room to be used for people to be fun and games. This isn't fun and games in here. This is real people with real lives and real children. And we got to respect one another. Now, I've been having a lot of people come in with bizarre names, sending messages. I think what I have to do, I have to be very careful. I want to have a real typical name. Erin's a typical name. That's great. She's from Tennessee. She's part of the family. She comes here to listen and hopefully learn something and hear about how to fight her CPS case. A lot of you have been wrongly accused and caught up in a system where there's corrupt social workers. 50% of the Child Protection Agency is corrupt. That's 50%. And you don't know when you get involved whether it's going to go good or bad. And it's a good morning. It's a new day, Aaron. It's a good morning to you. It's a good morning. And I'm glad in here and I want to know what you can do, how it can help you. Now, I have lots of ways you can interact with this live stream. You can text me a message, make it a question or comment about CPS. I also talk about APS. APS is Adult Protective System. Children, sometimes their special needs are still in the child protection system, will move to the adult protective system. Because when you're 18, you are no longer a minor. You're considered an adult. And all you out there that you've been in foster care, if you're 18, you need to clean your foster care record up. Now, as a young person, you probably don't know this, but this will haunt you and follow you to your adult lives. And when you have children, they're going to attack you also. They're going to attack you also. So you got to be careful. You know, when you become an adult, one of the first things you want to do is to have a letter and make sure, and you need to get an attorney. I know it's going to be hard to have your record clean. Also, if you're a juvenile with some trouble with the law, you can also have your civil cases cleaned up so that when you start as an adult, you start with a clean record. And when you have children, you don't have the horrors of the child protection system coming after your children. Too many of you told me that. Too many of you told me that you once were a child. And good morning, Bartley. You two people, really are very good to me because you make me believe in people. Bartley is a mother who's tried so hard with her son. She was a foster youth. And, when she grows up, they've been attacking her children. She has a son. She had a partner that she cared about, but he's turned bad. He's turned evil. And he's trying to undermine her and take her child. He's not even the biological father. He just wants the money. I hate to say it, CPS has become evil with money. Money has gotten to CPS. That's why 50% of the CPS systems, the child protection systems, are rogue. I call CPS the child protection system. There are many names. There's like the Department of Children and Family Services. There's the Child Protection Services. There's the Cabinet. There's the Department of Children's Services. But I just say CPS, meaning all the entities out there. This was started in 62 by an act of Congress that told that social services get a group of social workers together and protect our children from neglect and abuse. And it wasn't until 62. We had laws enacted long before that to protect our pets, but we had nothing about our children. Nothing. It's a late thing. 62 is late. Our country is getting to be quite old. We're over 425 years that we as a country been going on. We're a land of immigrants, and our first Native American people were considered immigrants. They came way from Asia, lost the land bridge into Alaska and settled through Canada. They became the First Nation people in Canada. And then they moved down into down North America to the United States, and they became the Native Americans or the Indians, the Native Indians. The word Indian is a term given by Christopher Columbus to the indigenous people he saw in the Caribbean. He thought he had reached India. That's why he called Indians. He was on his search to go to India to get all these special spices and special things. And he did not discover North America. North America was discovered by the first people, the Native American Indians. They're the first immigrants, and they've been very well badly abused for hundreds of years. It wasn't until 1978 they finally passed a law that would protect the Indian children. 78. Now, for a lot of you, that seems a long time ago. For me, it's just yesterday. I've lived through a lot of history. I was born shortly after the World War II, a very bad war that we lost a lot of men and women and children and children and children. So many children were abused and have been abused or continue to be abused. This is what this room is about. It's about taking care of our families, taking care of our children. I know that Aaron and Bartley are sweet, sweet people that care very much about their children. Bartley had worked so hard to set up her son. He's a homeschooler. In her state, in Montana, they don't require formal education to you're 7 years old. But you can have homeschool. Anyway, they put her son in public school. And Bartley had just, made a nice desk in his school supplies and was going to teach him. But what happened is that CPS insisted, the child protection entity in Montana insisted they go to public school. You see, there's a lot of things that they insist. They insist on vaccinations. They insist, and I'm not going to sit here and debate vaccinations. I think vaccinations are a good idea, and you should look into it, and you should study them and find out if they're the right thing or the wrong thing to do. You should see if they're right or wrong. Um, um, when you do come in, and Aaron and Bartley have been in before, I like to see your first name and try to use a name that I can pronounce. That isn't a message name. I don't need to know jumping stars or pink elephants or it's not a funny matter. CPS is not funny. CPS is a very serious thing that we all get ourselves into. And I can help you. All you have to do is ask. You make a question, you can call in, you can text me a message. Um, I just ask for the city or the county and your state. Now, if you're outside of the United States, because this is a worldwide live stream, I like your country. And there's right now, including the United States, 23 countries. I've heard from Indonesia and Bangladesh and India. Then in the Middle East, I've had Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then over to the continent of Africa, I've had Liberia and Sudan. And then the Republic of Congo, the Rwanda, Mozambique, and the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe is the United Kingdom from England, Scotland, and Wales. And then I have Denmark and Sweden, and some other countries that have texted or called in. And I go over to the pond to North America, and I have Canada and its provinces, and of course the United States, and all 50 states have either texted or called in. I've heard from all 50 states. In fact, I've even heard from the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Then I've heard from south of the border, from Mexico, and then further south in South America, north of Brazil on the East Coast, Grenada. Then in the South Pacific, it's been New Zealand and the land down under, Australia and its states. That's over 2,600 people. 2,600 people I've heard from. And you all have something similar. You have a child or a family you want to be together. Unfortunately, you've had some hiccups. Some of them may have been your fault, some of them may be misunderstandings, some may involve a relationship that's turned sour. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Another way that we can I haven't heard from the girl that went to the UK. I've not heard back from her since that day. Hopefully she'll come back in. I don't know. I haven't heard from her. Bartley, but that's nice that you were thinking about it. And it is a hard thing for you all. I'm open right now, by the way, for questions. You don't have to hear me talk. I only talk because no one else is talking. And I want to keep something interesting going. Now, this another way you can interact with this live stream. Thank you, Bartley, is to email me. That's right, Bob P at vincentwdavis.com. If you want to be on my live stream. Now, there's 14 shows to choose from. I'm on Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. in the morning, and on the weekends at 8 a.m. in the morning. And then in the evening, I'm on at 7 o'clock every night. This Sunday, I'm going to be on late. I have a family engagement in the afternoon that takes me into early evening, and so I wanted to do it early on Sunday, but my show producer insisted that I do it late at night. So I'm going to be on Sunday at 10 o'clock at night, which those on the East Coast, it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. Montana, it's going to be 11 o'clock at night. And in Tennessee, Aaron, it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. But that's Sunday night. And that's the time that my show producer gave me. So hopefully you guys can make it. Now, Aaron says you have court Monday for a revisit of my emergency plan. My caseworker insists she has entered for the services like a DNA class and therapy multiple times, but none has ever been called. I'm confused. What do you mean she insisted that she's entered the services? Why is a social worker taken what are DNA classes? Are those parenting classes and therapy? Why is a social worker needing therapy? Or is that therapy for you? I don't understand what you said there, Aaron. I'm trying to understand. Um, what is your permanency plan? That's not a very good thing to hear. A permanency plan is when you lost custody of your children. Um, and you should be fighting that. You want to do family reunification. You want to do family reunification. I'm going to put up my phone number next because I think it's time that you guys can call. I do allow phone calls. Okay, therapy for you and drug and alcohol classes. Okay, Aaron. So you can take a drug and alcohol classes and therapy multiple times, but none has ever been called. What do you mean? Is it something you do on your own, or does the caseworker set it up? And when you say a permanent, it's how they word the parenting plan. Okay, but a permanency is kind of scary. A permanency plan means they plan to take away your children. Do you mean a family reunification plan? Do you mean a reunification so you get back with your kids, Aaron? Now, I know, Aaron, you're using a court appointed attorney. There are four things I've been telling people lately that are forced to use court appointed attorneys because they don't have the funds to hire a real attorney. You need to tell your court appointed attorney four things. One, you're not guilty. Two, you want family reunification. You want family reunification. Three, you want to do what the court orders, the judge orders you to do with your plan. And I don't know what kind of plan it's called there in Tennessee, but it should be a plan called reunification where it gets back in there. But you should judge orders it, not necessarily what the social worker says, what the judge orders is. And again, you're telling this to your court appointed attorney. And four, you want to do visitations. There are four things you want to do. Now remember that. You want to establish you're not guilty. You want to do reunification. You want to do a judge court order plan. You want to follow that. You have to follow that because you're using a court, using a public defender. And lastly, you want visitations, whether they are restricted, whether they're zoomed or whether they are with a supervisor or whatever. You want to do visitations and you want to try to do them as much as possible. Now, I don't know in a particular area in Tennessee how many visitations they can give you, but you should. And if it has to be supervised, so be it. If it's on Zoom, so be it. It's important you don't discuss the case with your child during a visitation. You can tell them that you love them, you miss them, and that you're working hard with family reunification to get the family back together. That's all you have to tell them. The details or whether you're right or wrong don't need to be discussed. You don't want anything that the social workers use against you. They're bad. I'm going to have to say they're bad. And 50% of you out there have told me so. And statistics have shown that one of the people that reports it, the layperson, the professional who is your doctor, nurse, teacher, principal, or your caregiver, or your policeman or fireman, those are professionals. They're required by law to report it. Well, statistics have shown that they're only right half the time. The other kind of reporter, which is the layperson, which is your family, friends, relatives, the guy that runs a liquor store or whatever. Those individuals are lay people. They get it right 25% of the time. They're 75% of the time wrong. And they use it for sometimes retaliation. And it's wrong. Or alienation if there's a breakup of marriage. That's wrong too. So, um, yes, I'm glad your reunification. Try you, Aaron. Use the word reunification. Don't use the word permanency plan. That has a negative connotation. And use parenting classes or programs. Those are programs. The drug and alcohol is a program where you have to go through so many weeks. But you can use parenting programs, parenting classes. What we need to do is get rid of the stigma of the drug and alcohol. Just call it parenting programs, parenting classes, reunification, visitation, not guilty. Those are the buzzwords that you need to use when you're trying to defend yourself and fight CPS. Now, my number 626 is up there. It's 698-0990. It's a direct line to my phone. It's my work phone number. I have a separate number on my phone for work. And I use Vonage as a streaming device, a streaming software to take the phone call. I have my personal number that's provided me by my carrier. So that's how I have two numbers on my phone. Two numbers on my phone. But it's open, it's available. I'd love for you guys to call in. And I'm glad, Aaron, that you're here because you got a very important court date on Monday. And I want you to be prepared for it. So you should at least have 5 minutes with your court appointed attorney out in the hall and talk to he or she and say, I really appreciate having you. You're my life because my family depends on you. Please know that I'm innocent, that I want to do reunification, and I want to follow the judge's court orders. And I want to have visitation with my child or children. Those are so important, Aaron and Bartley. Now, you two are listening. There's probably other people in my room that are listening. And as I say, my number's up to call. I'd love to talk to you. But I only will take responsible callers. And so it's very careful when you call in. I don't need any clowns. There's nothing to be silly about this. CPS is a serious matter. Your life has been interrupted. I was just listening to a live video that a mother recorded of the illegal search and breaking into her home. These people, I guess, have been after it since November of 2024. They broke in March to get her children. And they were all upstairs. But apparently, I guess there's sounds coming or something because if there's no sounds coming from the house, they do not have the right to break in your home unless they have a warrant. But what they had was a court order, I guess, that was on a phone. And they're being very difficult showing it to the mother. They were playing games with the mother. They're insisting there to do things without being, they weren't there to be nice. They were there because they wanted to be. And where were the social workers? What they're doing is illegal. What they're doing is illegal, taking the children. The children were not in danger. I saw one of the child, his arm going by, he had clothing on, and he was walking downstairs, ordered by the police to confiscate the children from the home. It was a horrible, horrible thing you guys are going through. But you have to be calm. You have to be careful what you say. If police come knocking at your door, stay quiet. Get to the further part of the house. Don't say anything when a knock comes to the door. You don't know who it is. People have been shot and killed by policemen that were over anxious when they opened the door. Now, police are always supposed to come out when the social workers ask them to come out to protect them, to protect the social workers. They're not out there to institute the CPS's rules. They don't know that law. They're not trained in CPS matters. They're trained in criminal matters. And there's too many bad crimes out there happening. So when they come a knocking, don't answer. If you're outside and you encounter the social workers or the policeman, be courteous. And one of the first things you should ask them when they ask to talk to you or they're ordered you and say, is this a legal matter? If this is a legal matter, they have to answer yes or no. If the answer is yes, you say, all right, I want to work with you, but I need my attorney. Can we set up another time to meet or talk about this? I need to have my attorney present by law. Your civil rights and your constitutional rights state that during all legal proceedings that you can have legal representation. If you can't afford one, one is appointed for you. Well, they don't know if you have an attorney or not. So this will give you some time to investigate and reset yourself up so you don't lose your children. Now, if you let them in your house, you give them permission. If a family member lets them in the house, they give permission. So that is a no no because they'll inspect your home. And next thing you know, they'll ask to take your child. Your child is not supposed to be taken unless they're in danger. Unless they're in danger. If the child's being beat up or hurt in the home, the police will enter the home without a warrant. But they're supposed to have what's called a warrant. A warrant dictates what is going to take place. It has the date that the judge signed it. And by the way, that date should be a work date. If the date is a weekend or a holiday during the week, then it's a legal warrant because judges do not work on holidays and they don't work on the weekend. Well, they don't hold court on the weekend. I stand corrected because judges may work on the weekend because they have a lot of things they have to do. A good judge, just like a school teacher or lawyer, they work weird hours. They work to get the case done. But the hardest thing is when you don't have representation, you don't have an attorney, and you use a court appointed attorney, you're at the mercy. The court appointed attorney uh, will not fight for your case, only does what you ask them to do. That's why you need to emphasize those four things. Those four things. I'm not guilty. I want family reunification. I want to follow the court orders of the judge. And I want visitation. Those are really important. concepts. Now, I've been talking now for 40 minutes. That's a long time. My show goes to 9 o'clock in the morning. It's about 14 minutes from the end of my show. Um, my number's up. I'd love for you to call in at 626-698-0990. The second number you see on the screen, the 888-658-2582 number, is the law offices of my attorney, Vincent W. Davis. He will protect you. He will help you. He will help you. He's a good attorney. He works in Arcadia, which is LA County, California. I want to thank him for what he does. He does a lot of pro bono work for clients. He helps them with his live stream and those kinds of things. No. I said Sunday night. Sunday night, Bartley. Sunday night. Um, it'll be tonight at 7 p.m. It'll be 10 p.m. your time. You're 1 hour ahead of me. You're on Mountain Time, I believe. You're on Mountain Time, Bartley. So you'll be on tonight at 8 p.m. tonight. But on Sunday night, I come on at 10. You be on 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Now, we have roughly about 7 minutes left before my show will end. 7 minutes left. And then my show will end. Uh, uh, okay, we're getting winding down to the end of my show. I want to leave on a positive note. I want to thank everybody this morning for being very pleasant and being kind to one another. As you go out in this world, I try to do a good deed every day. It's an old Boy Scout tradition. Do a good deed every day. Think of one thing you get nice to do for somebody. Make a phone call, tell someone happy birthday, something simple like that. Text in a message. You know, maybe help out at home. It's really hard what you guys are going through. Now, I've had Aaron and Bartley a part of my family for some time. I've got to know them a little bit. Aaron is from Tennessee. Bartley is from Montana. Bartley is called in a lot. She is very troubled because her relationship turned sour. Enough so that it hurts. Relationships are really important with one another. So, try to love one another. If you don't agree to something, then keep it to yourself. With the CPS social workers, you got to understand they hate their job. No one likes them. And a lot of them do the job because they think they can get superiority. People a lot of time like to feel important. And so a social worker wants to feel important. So you be respectful, pleasant, but still be strong. Fight for your case. You always want to say you're not guilty. You always want reunification. And you want to follow the court order plan if you're going to use the court appointed attorney. If you have a real attorney, the attorney will direct you what to do and what to say. The difference between a court appointed attorney and your real attorney is that you're paying for the attorney and you're directing the attorney what to do or say. With a court appointed, you're at their mercy because they're not going to fight for your case. They work for social services, they work for the child protection system. And I hate to say it, they don't like what they're doing because they're given a caseload of 50 to 100 clients. That's way too much. That's ridiculous. CPS does it on purpose so that they fail. So they fail. And that's sad. That's sad. But I want to thank you all for coming back and being supportive and listening to my show. I thank the emojis that you guys give me. That's nice. I also want to be there to help you through your whole matter. I'm not going to disappear on you. I know a week ago I was thinking about quitting. I had to stop. I mean, it is a very hard thing to do this twice a day and relive what I went through horrible times. See, I've been fighting for 15 years. I've been involved with CPS since 2010. So that's 15 years. My case got bad in 2015 when they took 3 of my 6 children. But I got back, um, my 3 oldest children are there. They've now somehow have gone by the wayside, meaning that they've distanced themselves because of the matter that me and my wife had got ourselves into. They've distanced themselves. But I want you all to have a beautiful Saturday. Saturday, again, is football. For me, it's college football. It's where I watch the high school students now are in college. And that's what I'm planning to do for the next couple hours and enjoy some good football games. Um, and then take a walk to the beach after that. Fortunate I live at the beach. But I do appreciate all your input and being here and being supportive. Now, please keep fighting for your family, keep fighting for your child. Come here to get support. Come here to talk about it, and I will help you. I care. I have a big heart. I'm a loving father, and I have 43 years of marriage experiences and a lot of years, 61 years of life skills. I've gone through a lot. Whoa, we have someone at 9 o'clock. I'm so sorry, Naomi. Um, welcome, Naomi. Um, and I'm so glad you came in here. But I'm on from 8 to 9 Saturday and Sunday, and 10 o'clock during the weekdays in the morning. That's all Pacific Standard Times. I'm then again on at 7 o'clock, Naomi. I want to help you. I know you must have a CPS matter, but I run short of my time. I do have to go. It's 9 o'clock, and I have to wind down. But thank you, Naomi. Please come in again. I don't know what part of the world you're from, but next time you can tell me where you're from, and I'll help you with your case. Call in too, and so forth. I'm taking my number down only because I have a message about the Department of Government Efficiency. That is Doge. If you have your case and you're not doing well with it, um, please copy this information down because you can fight them at the federal level. President Trump has instilled this one of his campaign promises that He will investigate the corrupt government agencies. And CPS is being investigated right now. I know firsthand because I deal with social services. And I had on a call to a caseworker I had who came on the line was a supervisor for Doge who said they were investigating the social services and so forth. So they have a website that tell you what they're doing. They can offer you a job, a full-time job, not an hourly job, but a full-time career job. Furthermore, they have numbers that you can call in to get help, and they're good numbers. 202 is the White House area code. And then lastly, they got an email where you can send your information or your questions to. And that's right there. So with that being said, I'll see you tonight at I know, Naomi. I know. I want to help you, Naomi. They lied. What part of the country are you from, Naomi? They're trying to adopt your daughter. Good. I will help you with that motion. I will help you with getting that attorney. There are 4 things I want you to remember, Naomi. I'm going a little bit late here. You need to say you're not guilty. You tell the attorney you're not guilty. 2, you need to say you want family reunification. Now, if you don't get an attorney and you use a court-appointed attorney, tell your court-appointed attorney that you want to follow what the judge orders, not what social services orders, what the judge orders. And lastly, the 4th thing is you want visitations. And you want visitations, whether they're controlled or not. You just want to see your child. And you see them as much as possible. Much as possible. So, oh boy, I bet they're precious boys and you love them so. Yeah, I understand. I understand, Naomi. Where are you from, Naomi? Where are you from? All I need to know is your city, state, your country, and if you're outside of the United States, your country, your city or state. If you're outside the United States, your country. I have 23 countries, over 2,600 people I've talked to. I've been doing this twice a day. Tucson, Arizona. I'll try to remember you, Naomi, from Tucson, Arizona. Welcome. All right. Well, I'm signing off now. Thank you, Naomi, from Tucson, Arizona, for dropping in. And thank you, my regular people. And Naomi, you can be part of my family. Thank you, Bartley, from Montana. And Aaron, thank you from Tennessee. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on the West Coast of California. There'll be a brief video. Please watch the video. It's a good video, and you'll learn a lot. But you come back here twice a day, you'll learn a lot, Naomi. God bless y'all, and have a beautiful day. This is Bob signing.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the